will you be when you grow up? As a kid, I got that question like at least 1,000 times. I mean, from my mom, my dad, from people I didn't even know. Of course, back then I used to say things like, oh, I want to go into music. I would love to go into design. I might even go into journalism. But you know, oddly enough, none of those things stuck for me. I am almost at the edge of my high school life, and I'm not even considering, not even slightly considering, the things that I've always wanted to be as a child. See, it's not because I stopped doing them. It's not because I stopped loving them. In fact, I still do them. I still love them just as much. I don't know. And I know that I speak on a lot of the students in the audience, when I talk about this idea. Now, to prove my assumption, I basically conducted a small survey of students aged 16, 17, 18. Students just like me, almost at the edge of their high school life, just like me. Now the thing is, I got students of different ages, different backgrounds, different schools even, but I was so shocked to see that they all had one distinct similarity. Okay, so let's begin. The first question I asked my sample audience was, what will you be doing after high school? So the reason I ask this question is because it's so wide, it's so broad, it's so unspecific. You can tell me anything you want and I won't say no. You can tell me what you want to be, where you want to go, which school you're going to study in, what you're going to be studying in that school, and it would be false. It would be fine. And undoubtedly, everybody in my sample audience, I mean everybody, all the students, was able to answer my question. They said amazing things like, oh, I'm going to be studying biochemistry. I'm going to be studying psychology. I'm going to be studying business management, studying this and that and this and that, and things that sound so complicated that I wanted to say it. So yes, I was happy to see my friends studying a lot of things, but come on, they all kind of said the same thing. They all said they were going to go to university and study. And yeah, of course they will, but like, what then? Nobody told me which businesses they're going to open up, what occupations they're going to go for, what restaurants they're going to open up, which hotels they're going to work at, and stuff like that. So seeing as though that my question wasn't completely answered the way I wanted it to be answered, I didn't hesitate to ask my second question. The second question I asked them is, what will you be when you grow up? Back to the initial question that opened up my talk. Back to the initial question that opened up this whole idea of that. It's simple, it's easy, we got this 1,000 times growing up. Undoubtedly, everybody in my sample audience was able to say amazing things. They said things like, oh, I'm going to be a salesman, I'm going to be a businesswoman, I'm going to be a psychiatrist, a biochemist, go into research, and all those things that I myself am not capable of doing, I admit. But what shocked me was not the different answers that I got. What shocked me was the reaction I got to this question. Now you may think like, oh, what type of reaction would you get? It's such a simple question. I know. But I got a reaction. I asked my sample audience, what are you going to be when you grow up? And they asked me, what I should be or what I want to be. Is there a difference? Should there be a difference? Hearing this, I didn't hesitate to ask my third and final question. I asked them, what would you do if you could do anything you wanted to do? I emphasized to them they could do anything they want to do. They could be anything they want to be. And it saddened me so much that nobody, I mean not a single person in my sample audience was going to be what they wanted to be. Now let me say this again. A student who wants to be a salesman, who is going to be a salesman, wants to be a musician. A student who is going to be a psychiatrist wants to be an artist. A student who is going to study biochemistry wants to paint for a living, and a student, a close friend, who is going to medical school wants to sing. Why do we do this? They all said the same thing, they all said success. The pressure of success was so intimidating that we're willing to let go of things that make us happy, things that we're passionate about, things that we can do, just for things that may seem a little bit more safe. And honestly, I can't objectify, I agree. We live in such a fast-paced, competitive society that if you don't plan each step ahead, you're going to fail, definitely fail. But as I kept on talking to my friends about this, I began to notice that everybody's idea and definition of success was based on one thing and just one thing: money. Money was the issue. Money dictated. Money told us, you should do this, you should not do this. Now, but here comes the actual question of my thought. Is success just about the money? I think some of you guys just nodded and said yes. Okay, I understand. But think about it, okay? What about the accomplishment? What about the respect? What about one's aims? What about one's dreams? What about one's happiness? We spend so much time as little kids looking up to legends who are the best at what they do, but how can we be the best at what we do if we don't even like what we're doing? We speak of money as if it's the only wealth available to us. It's not. The only wealth given to us is time. And trust me, we need a lot of time to find out the potential within us. Do you think it's wise, before knowing our potential, to just make huge decisions like, oh, occupations and jobs and future dreams and stuff like that? Because I don't think so. Society has set up a definition of success which is not at all false, not at all. But it's so one-sided. Money is a necessity, yep. Money is the main aspect, absolutely. But let's not want so much money that we're willing to say goodbye to things that we love, things that we're passionate about, things we're good at. Our minds being pushed into single definitions of success is like putting an eagle in a cage. Our minds need to be expanded into the idea of aiming high. Legends become the best at what they do because they do what they love, they do what they're good at, they do what they're passionate at, instead of just playing it safe. And might I just say that playing it safe is just